It was not the normal type of trauma that you see on the road. It was definitely some other encounter that they'd come across. These people were spooked.
What was it that so spooked a family driving along a lonely stretch of highway on the Nullarbor? No one can say for sure, not even the Knowles family themselves.
Well, the best way to describe the experience was, it wasn't like reality, it was just like a dream, but it was real.
You couldn't say there is anything out of the ordinary about the Knowles family, Faye and her sons Patrick, Sean and Wayne. But something out of the ordinary certainly happened to them on January the 20th, 1988. They were driving the 3,500 kilometres from their home in Perth to Melbourne. It was 3 a.m. Sean was at the wheel. His brother Patrick was asleep beside him. The desert was cool and clear as they entered Majura Pass in the middle of the Nullarbor. Then, out of nowhere, Sean saw it. A dazzling white light headed straight for them.
He told me, "Hey, Pat, wake up. There's something in front of us." And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Wake up and check it out." He goes, "Look at that." He goes, "It's a UFO."
Sean panicked, tried to swerve out of the way, but still the object bore down on them. But that was only the beginning. Sean put his foot down and sped off along the highway.
It chased us for about a half hour, and then somehow it got in front of us. It must went around us, and the faster we went, the faster this object went. And before we knew it, this object landed on a car.
Next, the unbelievable happened. To this day, the Knowles family are adamant that their car was actually lifted off the ground. If this is right, they were left suspended in midair. Sean, the driver, blacked out. The others became hysterical.
My mum was crying and screaming, just saying, "We're going to die, we're going to die, we're going to die." And all I just thought was, "My God, this is it." You know, I just thought, "Why us?" God said, "Why us?" And all I can remember then was we were dropped.
As the car crashed back to Earth, Sean regained consciousness. In terror, the family fled from the car and hid in the saltbush scrub. After a while, the object slowly moved away and the Knowles headed for the nearest civilization, the Mundrabilla Roadhouse. What they didn't know was that Melbourne trucker Graham Henley had been driving on the same stretch of road that night. He arrived at the Mundrabilla Roadhouse just before dawn, just before the Knowles family.
This blue Telstar came in a hell of a hurry. And these three young fellas and their mother jumped out of it. They were all talking at once. And the funny noises that one of them was making, he was obviously scared, witless.
In fact, the Knowles were so scared, Graham Henley didn't get around to telling them what he'd seen on the Nullarbor that night. A bright magnesium type of light.
It just swerved and veered all over one side of the vehicle to the other. And I thought, what the heck's going on, you know? So I sort of accelerated a bit more and kept going, and then all of a sudden it disappeared. Just faded almost to nothing. Back it came again. And I thought, goodness knows, must be a helicopter or a roo shooter or something like this, having a bit of fun, and I never took much more notice of it.
But after talking to the Knowles family at the Mundrabilla Roadhouse, Henley did take notice. In fact, he and another truck driver drove back to Majura Pass, where they found evidence that seemed to back up what the Knowles had said.
Everything was exactly where they'd turned around, the skid marks on the road, where they'd hidden in the bushes. One of the boys had cut the tops of his toes in the gravel, and you could even see the little drops of blood on the gravel and the sand and stuff where it was.
The incident and the Knowles captured headlines around the world. The police were called in and the Knowles car was impounded. Experts tested it, but they could find no concrete evidence of an alien encounter. And so that was where the authorities let the matter rest.
No, I don't really think a lot of it has been investigated the way it should. But there was certainly, to my way of thinking, there was enough evidence to warrant a thorough investigation.
Certainly, something happened to that family that early morning.
Keith Basterfield is an independent UFO researcher, and he actually took the trouble to investigate the Knowles case. His report is exhaustive, but it's also inconclusive.
The manner in which the whole external factors came to deal with that family, in fact, probably has ruined us ever really knowing, because of the competing elements. The media wanting a quick story, sensational story, which is fine, that's their job. The police, who were disinterested once they found that they had a cookie UFO experience to deal with. The UFO researchers, because they couldn't really sit down to quietly explore the case. And the family themselves, because they suddenly found themselves the focus of an international effort when they were simply trying to get to Melbourne on holidays. I don't think we'll ever know.
Nevertheless, 5 years down the track, the Knowles family are still sticking to their story.
Oh, bloody oath, yeah. You betcha. They can think what they want, but I know what I know.